Hi everyone, David DeHaas down Living Waters, and I've been promising you, many of you have asked, how do you do it colonic? Because a lot of you are kind of a little bit afraid to come and do this, and I'm going to show you your fears are not warranted because it's very easy to do. First of all, I want to just kind of take you through why you should be doing it colonic and what we teach here. So we teach you the 4 basic laws of natural healing, the same laws that I used to heal myself from the numerous illnesses and diseases that I spent a number of years trying to figure out how do I get well, including the big C word, cancer. So I've had everything from allergies and asthma and severe joint pain and cancer and psoriasis. The list is long. Anyway, this was the missing link that I found to help me heal and get well. And literally, I felt like I've reversed my age internally because of doing what I'm showing you here today. So the 4 natural laws to fix the cells. At the end of the day, the cells are like the car engine. That's where the mitochondria is. That's where we burn the fuel. But you know, like all engines, things can go wrong and parts can wear out. So to heal the cells, to fix them, we got to clean the colon, clean the small intestine, clean the bloodstream, and then we transfer perfect nutrients, those good new parts, into the bloodstream to nourish the cells. As V.E. Iron says, does not matter what you have, if you want to heal, you must first address the 4 basic laws. If you had a clean colon, you wouldn't have your disease. So I want to next show you why this is important, because this is your second brain. Pay attention to this, because every organ and part in your body here, you can see all these little connections go out to the organs and parts in your body. So for example, if you have a left kidney issue, I would say to you, you've got a problem in your colon right here. There's probably toxicity built up. The left leg connects here, the left groin here. Great example on me. Last year, I do a lot of refereeing. I thought what I did, I pulled a groin muscle. That's what I thought, because it hurt, and it hurt really bad. I could not run, hurt to walk. To get in and out of a chair or get in and out of my bed, I had to lift my leg, and it was painful. And then I thought to myself, why don't I do a colonic? So I did a colonic, and in that one session, I reduced my pain by 85% because I got enough water hydrated in here to dissolve whatever was built up in here and let that go. But here, this is all the left side. It mimics your body. So here you got left pelvis, gonad, diaphragm, spleen, left arm, left ribs, left breast, pleura, solar plex, heart, upper lung. If you're having trouble breathing right now, it's because you've got issues, toxicity in your colon built up, and now that's pushed into your lung cavity, the toxicity. So this is the brain area. If you've got anxiety, depression, if you have headaches, migraines, bipolar, everything to do with the brain is right here. Why? 90% of your serotonin gets made right here. So if you've got built up fecal matter in your intestinal tract, it's very hard for it to properly manufacture dopamine and serotonin. This is the right side, right ear, right neck, right shoulder. Give a great example on shoulder issues. We've had a couple people come with shoulder issues lately, and they could not lift their shoulder or rotate them properly. Well, the guy he was left-handed framer, and he couldn't swing a hammer anymore. Well, here's left shoulder. Day 5 of the 10-day cleanse, guess what? He got up in this area here, thoroughly washed all his gunk out, got this back to the proper shape, and guess what he could do? He could swing his arm up and swing a hammer again. So, put him back to work, which was great. On the right side, this is all the right side, right breast, right ribs, liver, gallbladder. Too many of you are getting your gallbladders out. And the reason why is the small intestine dumps what they call chyme, it's the old wasted fecal matter, into here. It's got to go up this way. Well, this can get really big, and parasites love to hang out down in this area. So this can get quite enlarged and very, very toxic. Your appendix is down here. So if you've had your appendix down there, I would say you've had a constipation issue a long, long time. So what happens, that gets infected because the old fecal matter is literally, much like you leave a pan of food on the table for a few days, right? Or too long on the refrigerator, it starts molding. Well, guess what happens to your gut if you've left it in there for years, right? It gets severely toxic. And they actually did a test one time on a person. They took the fluid out of here and it burnt sailcloth. That's how toxic your gut can get. It can light sailcloth on fire. So we don't want that to happen because that's affecting the rest of your body as well, because this is the second brain. More neurons here than your spinal column. What are neurons, you may ask? Neurons are like cell phones. Cell phones are communication devices. Neurons are as well. But what would happen if I took and put poop around the cell phone towers in our little town? We wouldn't have as much communication, would we? Well, that's what happens in your gut. The communication breaks down. Now, to move the fecal matter around so that you form a perfect bowel movement, this muscle has to do what they call a peristalsis movement. Can you say peristalsis? Sure you can. All right. Anyway, so it does this, okay? Well, if you've had fecal matter sitting there for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, it can get as hard as a rubber tire. We've seen these hard chunks come out of people. Guess what? That muscle can't do this if there's hard rubber fecal matter in there, okay? We want to get it doing this, but the problem that's happened over time, follow me, is that your gut, your intestinal tract is looking something like this. And according to the gastroenterologists we've talked to, this is everybody to some degree. Now, your colon should be about 3.5 inches in diameter. It can get as big as 16 inches in diameter. And if that's happened, this muscle's not doing this peristalsis like it needs to be. So we've got to get that cleaned out and get it back to shape. The only way you're going to do that is with water, doing what I call aerobics for the gut. That is, you're doing colon hydrotherapy sessions. So think about it. If you go to the gym and you want to strengthen your muscles, you maybe you're going to do some push-ups, right? Over time, you'll strengthen that muscle by contracting and releasing, contracting and releasing. Well, the gut's the same way. As water trickles in here, that muscle intuitively wants to push back. Now, the first time you do a session, it's kind of weak, and it might push back a little bit. For those of you who are severely constipated, this is going to take some time, but it's your most effective way to get so that you're doing at least 2 bowel movements a day, and that's what you want. You should be going after every meal, ideally. Most of the population, though, goes once a day, but most of them worse. I'd say the higher degree is probably once every 2 days, and some people as big as once a week. And I've even seen people once a month. That's a severely toxic system, and it's leading you to cause other illnesses eventually. Now think about this. In your gut, you have, if we go back over here, the surface area, the size of a tennis court in villi. So villi is the final absorption piece from your nutrition that you're eating or consuming, whether it's supplements or the foods you eat, and it goes into the bloodstream. So once we get the colon cleaned out and get this, what I call the shag carpet, back to proper shape, because what happens to the shag carpet over time is it literally gets smashed down like a tile floor because you've left a little bit of food behind every day, and it gets tracked over, if you will. And how much do you absorb through a tile floor? Nothing. So we want to get this back like this so the vitamins and minerals can drop into the bloodstream. The last thing we clean is the liver, because the liver is the blood cleanser. So we clean the liver, which has 50,000 bile ducts. You clean this out, and now you feed it the perfect nutrition. It gets absorbed, and it is quick and easy. You'll see people heal so fast. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see hundreds of people who did this 10-day process, and they've had numerous, variety of illnesses, everything from Parkinson's to cancer to gut issues, brain fog, you just name it, psoriasis, candida yeast, and they've healed quickly and easily by just simply following the 4 basic laws. Now, I know you've all been waiting for this, so let's now go into the colon hydrotherapy room, and I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily do a colonic session. So follow me. Right this way. Okay, this is the colon hydrotherapy bed. And these are the nicest beds on the market. They're so easy to use. How do I know that? Because I've used them all in my quest to find the perfect colonic bed. This is it. Okay, it's very simple to do. First of all, you're going to get undressed. You can get totally undressed, or at least from the waist down, obviously. Usually people keep their socks on because sometimes we get a little cold as you're dispelling all these toxins. So leave your socks on. But there's a small one-time use tube. You can see it's all hooked up and ready to go. And you'll notice this tube's very, very tiny. So it's smaller, way smaller than my finger, smaller than a pencil. And there's a little tiny hole there. And this is what they call a gravity-fed open bed system. Now, it's not using pressure, so it's not going to pressurize it like the closed systems do. But the water's going to trickle out of here, and that's going to cause and stimulate your colon to want to push back. Again, remember aerobics for the colon. You're going to insert it about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. It can't go any farther than this, but all you need is about this far in there. It can't hurt you. It will not poke a hole in you. You will not die from doing a colonic. No one has ever died from doing a colonic session, ever. So dispel that myth and that fear. That will not happen. These are only used one time and then we throw them away, but very easy to do. There's actually instructions in here, but we actually, on the first day you're here, we show you a video, and then our colon hydrotherapist, Chandra or Wendy, are generally in here a lot the first day, just kind of coaching you up. But what you're going to do is you're going to get undressed, you're going to sit on the bed like I am right now. You're going to flip over your legs, just like this. Kind of almost reminds me of going to a rodeo and riding a horse. Almost, but much easier. So then you're going to pull over the blanket, right? And now you're going to reach underneath your bottom and insert the rectal tube. And you're good. Now, if you have any concerns or questions, you'll pull this over here during the session. And guess what you got? You got sort of a handy dandy little phone communication device to call the colon hydrotherapist. And the colon hydrotherapist will come in the room and they'll turn on the water and the first day for you. And there's a temperature gauge here, it keeps track of the temperature. But if you say during the session, gee, I don't want to do it anymore, you can turn the water off. So the cool thing about an open bed system, it's the only system where you have complete control of doing the colonic. On a closed system, the therapist is in the room with you the whole time, which for many of us, it's a little intimidating having someone sitting here and holding on to you, rubbing your belly, and watching you poop. On this system, we don't watch you poop, all right? We're out of the room for the most part. Usually after day one, you're pretty much a professional by then, and you're pretty much on your own, and we'll just come in and tell you when the time's up. Unless you need more help or you want someone in the room, maybe you've got some concerns or questions, or you look down over here in the viewing tube, which the viewing tube, as you see here, will actually, you'll be able to see all the amazing little critters, when I mean critters, as we call them, parasites. And you'll see yeast, candida, parasites, you'll see all those imaginable things you had no idea that you had in your gut that were causing you harm, and they'll float by here, and you can watch those. If you like, take pictures, send them home to mom. If you like, you think that's funny, don't you? But actually, people kind of get pretty persnickety about how big their parasites are, and they start comparing them, funny enough, and they're kind of bummed if their parasite isn't as big as the next guy's, which is kind of, well, that is funny. Anyway, easy enough to do. When you're done, you will sit up like this, and you'll simply throw back this. Now, the big question people ask me, what happened today again, gee, I got to go to work after the session. Will I be able to go to work after I do a colonic? Yes, you will, because you'll be done pooping. You'll totally evacuate here on the bed. In fact, we'll have you sit up for a little bit to make sure all the water drains out. We'll give you about 5 minutes or so, which is usually ample time for you to drain out. And then you'll take this little hose here, and you're going to spray down the bed here, clean it off a bit, also to clean off your bum. And then you will simply take this blanket, throw it off onto the floor if you like, and spin around like this. Go to the edge of the bed, and then get up like this. And we've got to tap with right here, so it's very easy. There is no smell when you're doing this. We actually have a fan system that pulls away the smell, so there isn't a smell as you're doing this. Very sanitary. We go through a 31-step process when we disinfect and clean these beds. So these beds are very clean and very simple to do, guys. So that's how you do your first colonic session. And when you get done, as someone said yesterday, she said she not only felt refreshed, but lighter. So that's what we want to achieve, is that you feel refreshed and lighter, not only here, but up here as well, because this affects this. David DeHaas at Living Waters. If you love this stuff, please share this video. If everyone did colonics, we could reduce the sick care costs by billions and billions of dollars, in my opinion. So let's get the world doing colonics. We shower on the outside. Let's shower on the inside. Get out of all garbage. Feel better. Live life like you're meant to live, not living it like an old man or an old woman. All right, David DeHaas at LivingWatersCleanse.com. Make a comment. Tell me if you enjoyed it or not. You have a blessed day.